Hi everyone, it's Sunday, March 5th, time for another HideNet Week in Review. I'm Vera Dordick. Starting with the U.S. market, it was pretty quiet during the week. Sellers are indeed well positioned, so they continue to push for more, but buyers again did not pay. By the end of the week, some producers caved and sold at steady levels, so prices were overall steady. Looking at heavy Texas steers, prices were, as we said, steady and more due to a lack of sales than anything else. The range is from $26 to as much as $27 for 64, 66-pound selections, and that's just 50 cents off last week's high. In the cow sector, Holsteins remain popular, but higher prices are just not possible anymore. With regard to combined export sales, they were thankfully 16% higher. And for the week ending February 25th, the total was 542,300. Combined shipments were fabulous, and they were 9% higher than last week's hefty number, and this week they were 675,300. Estimated slaughter for the week ending ending March 4th was 629,000. Even though this is up 2% from the previous week, slaughter continues to trend lower in 2023. Turning to Europe, editor Andrea Guolo, as expected, says that the flat market situation is dragging on toward mid-March because the real orders have yet to arrive at tanneries. Basically, there have been some increases on bulls, cows are generally stable, and for calves, there are few offers. Purchases are really focusing on Central Europe because Italian tanneries have little interest in British or origins outside the EU right now. Plus, warehouses are awash in wet blue stocks in Europe. In the UK and Ireland, prices are still the same because everyone's quite well sold. British ox is at 85 cents sterling for just about any size, and in Ireland, the prices are also unchanged at 93 to 98 cents in euros. Taking a look at European bulls, the lack of supply has caused some increases, but overall the situation is pretty balanced. Northern German bulls are still at €1.15 to €1.20 for the 40-plus kilo selections, and the southern hides are also unchanged, but then there were some increases on the French origins last week. With regard to European cows, the market is largely unchanged, even though there were some spotty small increases. And for veal, what can we say, except that prices are quite high and they may have room to go even a bit higher before this is all done. In his analysis, Andrea runs down what's happening with the major origins and what the current outlook for orders is. Turning to South America, editor Ronald Guiel reports that raw material prices went up 5 cents again this week, and fresh hides are selling at $1.37 per kilo. The big surprise is that the reference price of TR1 jumped up to 70 cents in dollars per square foot. Otherwise, Latin origins managed to remain stable for another week. In other news from Brazil, the government confirmed that the case of BSE found is indeed atypical. Novo Hamburgo is getting ready to host FEMEC, the largest leather and footwear fair in Latin America. And for Marfrig, weak North American business dragged down their financials for last year. From elsewhere in Latin America, Argentina's clothing and footwear are the second most expensive compared to 31 other countries. Colombia's footwear hit the highest production in a decade, and in Uruguay, it is getting increasingly difficult to source domestic leather. That is all we have for today. Next week, we'll be coming to you from Dubai on the eve of APLF, so look for our report from there. And until next week, good night from HideNet.